Today we will be making an oven roasted turkey for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is our favorite holiday because it revolves around food, of course. This recipe is something you're going to come back to year after year because it's so easy, so straightforward, yet the turkey will turn out very flavorful, very tender and juicy. And oh, don't let me get started on the leftovers. Those will be good for days. So let's get started. Here we have a 17-pound turkey. This is the smallest my sister could find at the store, but you can use anything smaller or bigger depending on how big your party is. For this, we will need 2 large onions, sliced, 5 celery stalks cut into 2-inch long pieces, 3 carrots, also cut into 2-inch long pieces. Here, this is a multi-color carrot, but you can use anything that you have on hand. Regular carrots will be fine. 13 garlic cloves peeled, a few sprigs of thyme, tarragon, and sage. And for these vegetables, we will need salt and pepper to taste. We need 1 stick of butter, 5 bay leaves, 1 lemon zested and cut into 4 pieces. Make sure that you reserve the zest. 1 orange zested and cut into 8 pieces. Also make sure that you reserve the zest for the marinade. This is the zest of 1 orange, the zest of 1 lemon. This is 1 tablespoon of Italian seasoning, 1 tablespoon of ground black pepper, 2 tablespoons of salt, and 1/4 cup of cooking oil. We will start by placing the carrots, onions, and celery in a roasting pan large enough to fit your turkey. Add salt, pepper, the vegetable oil, and the bay leaves to your pan as well and mix all the ingredients very well. Place the turkey on top of the seasoned vegetables and set aside. Now let's move on to the next step. Place butter, herbs, and garlic into a small saucepan and melt over low heat. Make sure that you are being patient with this step because you don't want to burn the butter, but you want it to infuse all the flavors of the garlic and the herbs. This step will take a few minutes to melt the butter, and then once the butter is completely melted, let it simmer on low heat for an extra 5 minutes. Remove the butter mixture from the heat and using tongs, remove the herbs and the garlic and stuff them inside of the turkey cavity. To the butter, add 2 tablespoons of salt, 1 tablespoon of black pepper, 1 tablespoon of Italian seasoning, the zest of 1 lemon and the zest of 1 orange, and mix very well. Place the cut up lemon and cut up oranges into the cavity of the turkey. This is what our turkey should look like once we stuff everything into the cavity. And now we will start slowly brushing it with our butter mixture. Using a pastry brush, make sure that you pack the seasoning onto the turkey and you cover all of it. This is what our turkey looks like after the marinade has been added to it. Now we will let it sit in the fridge overnight to soak up all the flavors. But if you cannot leave it overnight, it will be okay if you could just leave it for 1 or 2 hours. It will still turn out great. This is why this recipe is so awesome and so easy to make. To get our turkey ready for the oven, we will cover it first with parchment paper, and then we will add a foil covering on top of the parchment paper. We do not want the foil to be directly covering the turkey. Make sure that you wrap it very tightly and all the edges of the foil are sealed very well. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees. We will cook the turkey covered for 2.5 hours and then remove the covering and roast uncovered for 1 hour so it can get that beautiful brown crust. During the last hour of roasting the turkey, check on it every 15 minutes to make sure that not one side is getting more brown than the other. If this happens, you can prevent the skin from burning by covering whichever part is already browned with a small piece of foil until you are ready to pull the turkey out of the oven. Pull the turkey out of the oven and let it rest for at least 30 minutes before carving so it can stay extra juicy. For more details, find the recipe in the description box. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe.